Did you know that every 40 seconds someone in the United States has a heart attack? Imagine this. You're alone, feeling the tightening pain in your chest, and there's no one around to help. What would you do? Could you survive? It's crucial to be prepared for such emergencies. Here's why. A heart attack is one of the leading causes of death worldwide, and it can strike without warning. The most shocking part? Many people suffer these life-threatening events while they're alone, without anyone around to assist or call for help. In fact, about 40% of heart attack victims don't make it to the hospital, and the first few minutes are critical. That's why it's not only important to know what the symptoms are, but also what steps to take if you find yourself facing a heart attack on your own. Surviving a heart attack when you're alone can be a terrifying thought. The good news is that with the right knowledge, it's possible to improve your chances significantly. It all comes down to understanding the signs of a heart attack and taking immediate action. In this video, we'll explore how to recognize heart attack symptoms, what steps you can take if you're alone, and how some simple first aid techniques can save your life. Stay tuned, because knowing what to do can make all the difference. Heart attacks can strike at any moment, and the fact that they can happen unexpectedly, regardless of a person's age, lifestyle, or overall health, makes them one of the most unpredictable and dangerous medical emergencies. According to the American Heart Association, nearly 805,000 Americans suffer from a heart attack each year, and approximately 1 in 5 of these heart attacks are silent, meaning they occur without obvious symptoms or pain. This makes detecting a heart attack even more challenging, as the person affected may not even realize what's happening until it's too late. The danger of heart attacks is compounded by the fact that many of them occur when the victim is alone. For example, picture a 55-year-old man who suddenly feels a sharp pain in his chest and finds it increasingly difficult to breathe. He could be at work, sitting at his desk, or perhaps out for a walk in the park, or even sitting on the couch watching television. His immediate instinct might be to write off the pain as something less serious, such as indigestion or fatigue. Unfortunately, this kind of delay in response can be fatal. A heart attack doesn't wait for the right time or place, and neither should you when it comes to taking action. The reality is that heart attacks can occur when you're alone, and not knowing how to respond can make all the difference between life and death. A critical part of survival is the first few minutes after a heart attack begins. The window between the onset of symptoms and when medical help can arrive is crucial. During this time, your heart may be suffering irreversible damage, and if the condition worsens, it could lead to death. Even if you recognize the symptoms, the challenge doesn't end there. It's not just about identifying a heart attack, it's about knowing exactly what to do, especially when you have no one around to help. Signs of a heart attack. While the symptoms of a heart attack can vary, there are several key warning signs that are commonly observed. It's vital to recognize these symptoms early on so that you can act fast and give yourself the best possible chance of survival. Chest pain or discomfort. The most common symptom of a heart attack is pain or discomfort in the chest. However, it's important to note that this pain is not always sharp or sudden. It may feel like pressure, tightness, squeezing, or fullness in the center of your chest. It might come and go, lasting for more than a few minutes at a time. In some cases, the pain might subside and then return, which is a clear indicator that something is wrong. Shortness of breath. Shortness of breath can occur with or without chest pain and may be accompanied by dizziness or lightheadedness. Even when you're resting or not engaging in physical activity, you may feel like you cannot catch your breath. This is a sign that your heart is struggling to pump oxygen-rich blood throughout your body, a crucial warning during a heart attack. Pain in other areas of the body. It's common for pain to radiate from the chest to other parts of the body during a heart attack. The pain can extend to the shoulders, arms, back, neck, jaw, or even the stomach. Sometimes people mistake this referred pain for something less serious, such as muscle soreness or heartburn. However, it's essential not to ignore these symptoms, as they could be pointing to something far more serious. Sweating or cold sweats. If you suddenly break into a cold sweat for no apparent reason, especially if it's accompanied by chest pain or shortness of breath, it could be a sign that you're experiencing a heart attack. Cold sweats can be an indication that your body is in distress and that your heart is not functioning as it should. Dizziness or lightheadedness. Feeling faint or lightheaded is another symptom that can accompany a heart attack. If your heart is struggling to pump blood effectively, your brain may not receive enough oxygen, causing dizziness. This can be a dangerous sign, particularly if you are alone and unable to get help quickly. While these symptoms are some of the most common, it's important to note that not every heart attack presents with all of them. Some people may experience only mild discomfort or one or two symptoms, which can make it harder to detect a heart attack. This is especially true for silent heart attacks, where symptoms may be subtle or even entirely absent. The challenge of being alone during a heart attack. The true danger of having a heart attack when you're alone lies not just in recognizing the symptoms, but in knowing how to respond quickly. The human body is often conditioned to freeze or panic when faced with life-threatening situations, which can lead to poor decision-making or delayed action. The stress of being alone only exacerbates this problem, as you don't have the support of others to help you think through your next steps or call emergency services on your behalf. When you're isolated, the usual response is to call for help, but this can be tricky if you're too weak to pick up the phone or if the pain becomes overwhelming. The emotional toll of facing a potentially life-threatening situation without anyone around can also cause a person to freeze, hesitate, or become overwhelmed by fear, making it harder to act decisively. Even if you do manage to get help, the time it takes for paramedics to arrive is another critical factor. While waiting for help, your body may be experiencing significant damage to the heart muscle, which could increase the risk of death or disability. The sooner you act, the better your chances of survival. The delay in seeking medical attention could prevent you from receiving timely interventions, such as clot-busting medications or surgery, which are essential for minimizing heart damage and improving long-term recovery. What to do if you're alone? The key to surviving a heart attack alone is knowing exactly what to do in those critical first moments. If you find yourself in this situation, it's important to remain calm, recognize the symptoms, and take immediate action. Here are the essential steps to follow. Step 1. Recognize the symptoms. If you experience any of the symptoms we've discussed, chest pain, shortness of breath, pain in other areas of the body, sweating, dizziness, don't assume it's something minor. Trust your instincts and recognize that these symptoms could point to a serious heart attack. Step 2. Call 911. The first thing you should do is call 911 or your local emergency services. Don't wait. Even if you think the symptoms might pass or that it's just a minor issue, it's always better to be safe than sorry. The faster emergency services are notified, the quicker they can come to your aid. Step 3. Chew an aspirin if possible. If you are able to, chew an aspirin. Aspirin works by thinning the blood, which can help reduce the damage caused by the heart attack. However, you should not do this if you are allergic to aspirin or if you have been told not to take it by a healthcare provider. Step 4. Stay calm and breathe. While waiting for help to arrive, try to stay as calm as possible. Focus on slow, deep breaths, to reduce anxiety and help maintain a steady heart rate. Panicking will only make the situation worse. Surviving a heart attack alone may seem like an insurmountable challenge, but being aware of the symptoms and knowing how to act can make a world of difference. The key is preparedness. Understanding the signs, having a plan in place and acting quickly can significantly improve your chances of survival. In some cases, it's possible to perform a self-administered version of CPR. This involves chest compressions, using your body weight to apply pressure to your chest at a rate of about 100-120 compressions per minute. If you've never learned CPR, it might seem daunting, but just doing chest compressions can keep blood flowing until help arrives. Let me share a story of a man who found himself in a similar situation and survived. John, a 60-year-old man, was at home alone when he began feeling a tight pain in his chest. He tried to ignore it, thinking it might be indigestion, but after a few minutes the pain worsened and he started feeling short of breath. He recognized the signs of a heart attack from what he'd learned during a health seminar a few years ago. He immediately called 911, and while waiting for help, he chewed an aspirin. He knew the importance of staying calm. As the minutes ticked by, he focused on breathing slowly and steadily, which helped him maintain some level of composure. He was advised by the dispatcher to perform chest compressions on himself. Although difficult, he used his kitchen counter to support himself and pushed hard and fast on his chest. Within minutes, the paramedics arrived and rushed him to the hospital, where they performed a successful intervention. John's ability to act quickly and take the right steps in those crucial minutes likely saved his life. To summarize, surviving a heart attack alone requires quick action and knowing what to do. Recognize the symptoms, call for help, chew aspirin if you can, and stay as calm as possible. Remember, your first few minutes could make all the difference. Always be prepared to take immediate action and never hesitate to seek help. If you found this information helpful, I encourage you to share your own experiences or thoughts in the comments. Also, check out my other videos on health and emergency preparedness to learn more life-saving tips.